Blooming with floral beauty, London's Royal Academy of Arts is a feast for the eyes. From Monet to Matisse, the works of 42 artists adorn the walls, and what binds them all together is that the gardens are the major motif of their paintings, not just a backdrop.
Some of them, in fact quite a number of them, were also very serious and talented gardeners themselves. None of them created a garden quite on the scale of Monet's garden at Giverny, because that's completely exceptional. And even when artists didn't actually make their own gardens, the subject was very compelling to them. You know, it's obviously because of the colour, the design involved, and it, I think, became a laboratory, sort of laboratory for many of them for artistic experimentation during this very exciting period in the history of modern art.
Claude Monet is arguably the most important painter of gardens in history, and his brushstrokes account for 1/4 of the works in the exhibition.
Monet famously said, "I owe it to flowers that I am a painter," and once he'd enjoyed success as an artist, he created his own masterpiece garden at Giverny, which has obviously become a very popular tourist destination now, but back then was the inspiration for many of his finest works, including this one, the Agapanthus triptych.
Having the 3 panoramic canvases on display is something of a coup for the exhibition.
It's one of a series of very large canvases of the water garden and the water lilies that preoccupied Monet for the last 10 years of his life, from around 1915-16 to his death at the age of 86 in 1926. They were sold in the 1950s separately to 3 separate American museums: the Cleveland Museum of Art, the St. Louis Art Museum, and the Nelson Atkins Museum in Kansas City. And this is the first time that they have been reassembled in Europe. And so we're very proud and very happy to be able to show this great work of art here at the Royal Academy.
While Monet is the cornerstone of the show, he was not the only artist of the era to be fascinated by gardens.
We have the Spanish artist Sorolla, who made a beautiful garden in his house in Madrid, which is still there and open to the public. The same with Max Liebermann, the German artist, who made a lovely garden on the shores of Lake Wannsee outside of Berlin. Nolde, the German expressionist, had various gardens in northern Germany and in Denmark.
With the focus being on gardens, people tend to be absent in many of the paintings, or else play a supporting role, like in this John Singer Sargent work, where the luminescent lilies upstage the boy and girl who look dull by comparison. Spanning the period between the early 1860s and 1920s, the artworks also provide an historical commentary on the great social change experienced in the era.
I think one can see something about the evolution of horticultural history, for example. I mean, the period covered by our exhibition is also a period that saw the rise of modern society as we know it today, a sort of modern middle-class society, and gardening as a popular pursuit, a popular passion, as it is for so many people now, with plant nurseries, seed catalogues, plant catalogues, gardening journals, magazines, gardening fairs, festivals. All of that really starts in the mid-19th century and develops throughout this period.
The exhibition takes you to gardens from across the world, including Germany, the US, Spain and France. The tour of pretty petals and autumn leaves is almost enough to inspire even the least horticulturally inclined to turn their hands to their own gardens this weekend. Sarah Morris, TRT World.